Hi everyone and welcome to the latest video. I'm going to be working on this lovely writing bureau for a customer, and she said she just wanted this refinishing. It looks in reasonable condition, but as you'll see as we go on into the video, there was quite a lot of work. So stay tuned and hopefully you'll enjoy the end results as much as I did. It's not in terrible condition, this. The customer just wants me to refinish it. I don't know if you can see there, but all the finish, and this is the same all over, it's gone like an alligator skin or a snake skin, whatever you want to call it. It's got hundreds and hundreds of cracks in the finish. The top finish is totally gone, and there's some what appears to be watermarks. This little thing is trim that's come off the drawer, and there are other parts missing as well. So some there. We've got some veneer damage, some on this side. The drawer is a little bit stiff, so we'll have to have a better look at that. Inside, again, not too bad at all. Just some more missing veneer there. So not too bad a condition. A lot of the hardware needs cleaning up. I'm guessing there will be some repairs along the way. Those legs, claw and ball feet legs on these bureaus, I've worked on quite a few of these, and the legs tend to be loose. I'll just make sure everything's sound, and hopefully we can brighten this piece up. It is a beautiful piece of furniture, so hopefully we can do something nice to it. So stay tuned. I'm going to take it to pieces because it's just easier to remove this section to work on. And as you can see, these support bars disappear down the back there, so I have to take that off anyway, which means I have to take the back off. But what I can do to start with, I can take this front off, which is these hinges and these on either side, and I'll take the locking mechanism off as well. I'll do that now. Well, that was the easiest one I've ever done. Thank you. So these are the desktop supports. So this supports the drop down, and these are actually automatic. So that's attached, as you saw before, that's attached to the drop down part, the drop leaf. And that's how it sits, and then when you pull the drop down, it comes out and supports So the other end of this is hidden away there, which is why I have to take the back off. So I'll show you. So to get to the other end, that's where the screws are. So get those off now, take those out. The next tricky part is to remove this letter divider, and from experience these can be quite challenging to get out. On either side, you can see that there's a screw there and one on the other side. So you'd think, well, just unscrew those and that's fine, it'll just pull out. But what I have noticed, I don't know if you can see that, it's nailed in there and it's nailed in there. So I need to unscrew those screws and then try and lift those nails. Taking these screws out now, so there's still these nails in. So I've managed just to rock it back to lift that, and hopefully if I just bang it, oh, that didn't work. Oh, there we go. The nails are still there, but actually, there we go. That was really easy. Have you got your washing line? Have you? Who's daft? Who's daft? Oh, you do love that line, don't you? I've got it. Look at that face. You're a good girl, aren't you? Hey, come and sit out of that sun now. Come on, let's get out of the sun. Good girl. Drawers, they've got quite a bit of this trim missing or broken, so I've got some replacement stuff to do some repairs. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to take off this trim, so it'll just be easier to scrape the finish off if I get rid of this. Rather than scraping this top, I'm going to use stripper. I actually used stripper on the other two drawers because I wasn't happy with the amount of damage I was doing removing the trim. It was quite brittle, and I'm going to do the same on this because it worked quite well. Just leave that for a second. Well, about 5 minutes. think I mentioned earlier that having worked on these before, these ball and claw cabrio legs tend to become loose. They're glued and screwed in, and the glue just fails over time, and then the screws sort of work their way loose. You can see. There we go. You can just about see the remnants of glue there, but it's totally dried out, which is why they're loose. But pretty easy fix this. Just clean that area up, little bead of glue, and re-screw them in, and the screws will clamp them in place while the glue dries. So quite an easy fix, but I'll probably leave these off to work on for the time being. Right, 3 more. A top tip when you're taking the legs off, generally, just label them. So, back left, front right, back right. Because even though they look exactly the same, they may well be slightly different, and the holes may be in a slightly different place. So it's best to put them back exactly where you got them from. Top tip, save you some heartache later on. We'll start off with the easiest of fixes. These are little holes where there are nails in as part of the assembly, and the existing filler had fell out, so it left some holes in the side. So I'm just cleaning them up, and I'll add some more filler. Really easy fix. You can see the veneer is loose there as well, and also there's quite a lot of cracking. So what I'll do is, once I've done these repairs, I'm going to put a very thin coat of filler in there. Once I've put all the beading on and the top coat, you won't be able to tell. So let's get these repaired first. It's just really thin, this veneer. It is a burl walnut, so it's a European walnut by the look of it. And this stuff is not cheap. I'm going to use a bit of the hide glue in a syringe. That's so thin. On this drawer, that is a piece of veneer. They're two separate pieces, and obviously what they've done is, where they've put the piece in, they've put filler in, and they've actually put filler in these bits where the grain is a bit deep. It's like as a grain filler. There's a bit of the old filler there, the rest of it looks like it's come out. So I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to put a thin coat of filler in some of these deep gouges. Right, just check the next drawer now. just thin this down a bit because this draw is quite bad, quite a lot of cracks in the veneer. Okay, let that dry now. Just need to glue that in place now. Ah, look at that. That's the old piece. Just knocked it up. A lot of these edges where the veneer has splintered is going to be covered up with the trim when I replace the trim, but there's a bigger piece there. I think you can see that. This needs replacing, and I've got some European walnut veneer, which is really nice. So I'm just going to try and find a piece that's suitable for that. Okay. These are the drop down supports that I took off earlier, and the felt on the top of them is just deteriorating a bit. So that needs replacing, and I've got this to replace it. Got quite a lot because I did another job. But before we do that, I'll clean these up, sand them down, and also there's a little veneer repair that needs doing on this before I do the felt. Because it's such a small piece, rather than just piecing that, I'm going to take that off and just replace that little bit of veneer there. you ready? Steady. Go! Very excited. Who's that? Don't bat with the cock. Hey, this dog. This is a drawer that most of the beading was broken on, and as you can see, I've patched the veneer there, and what I've done is I've just put some filler in these because it's going to be covered up anyway, most of it, with the new beading. And this is what I have got. It took me ages to find this, and one of my friends, Matt, and you may have seen his channel on YouTube, Restorology or Restorology. Great channel. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. And he suggested try a model shop because I couldn't get any of this trim small enough from, you know, normal timber merchants and wood suppliers. So I got this from a model shop and it's absolutely perfect. So I just need to cut this now, cut it all to size, put it on there, and that's another job done. There we go, there's one. I'll get all them cut and I'll come back to you. So that is how it will look once it's all glued in place. I know this might be daft putting it on with a syringe, but I don't want, if I just do it with the glue bottle, I'll end up putting far too much glue on, which I normally do. Do you know when you start these and you think, oh, there's not a lot need doing to this. It's just the finish. It's always the way. I don't know whether it's just me, because I don't know. Whether I see things and I can't leave them, or I don't know. Right. Something else I've spotted on this is this little piece of wood here that's got the hole to put the drop down supports through. It's twisting. Now I've checked the other one and that's fine, and it's actually nailed from underneath. My original plan was to try and get another nail next to the original nail just to stop it spinning, but I couldn't actually get a hammer in to hammer the nail up there without taking the brace off, and taking the brace off would have been a pain. So what I managed to do is I managed to tilt the piece of wood just enough to get a syringe of hide glue in there. Then it was just a case of making sure that was secure and waiting for it to dry. The top drawer was a bit hit and miss whether it came out straight or not. It actually sat straight when it was in, but pulling it in and out was a pain. And as you can see there, they've got these guides to stop it twisting when you put the drawer in and out. And on that side there is one. On the other side it was missing. So that needs replacing. The other problem was the drawer had actually worn the drawer guides out, and it had actually worn the drawer out. And as you can see there, there's some really, really deep grooves which I may need to sort out. But the first thing I'll do is replace that guide, because that's the easier option. Failing that, I'll have to do something with that worn drawer guide. sliding. I've said this before, when you first put glue on, especially the amount of glue I've just put on that, and then you stick a clamp on, it's got a tendency sometimes to shift. And if you need it to be exactly where you've glued it, the best thing to do, I find anyway, I'm not saying this is the right way, but yeah, see, it's shifted. I find the best thing to do is just let the glue tack up a bit first, so it's not as runny, and then clamp it. So I'll leave that for about 5 minutes now, and then I'll clamp it. The bottom of the drawer, as I showed you before, had quite a big groove in it, and I wanted to fill that. Now I could have cut some of the wood out and tried to splice some in, but it would have affected the side of the drawer. So what I'm using here is some of the solid wood beading that I'd got for the front of the drawers, and it was just a great fit. It fit in the groove. I'm just going to glue that in place and then finish it off with some sanding just to make that nice and straight again. Tried the drawer in here and it's still tipping a bit, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and cut a square section out, and then what I can do then is glue a piece in and nail it whilst it's gluing, so it holds it tight. So yeah, what I thought was going to be a 2-minute job isn't, so yeah, I'll do that now. Woo! There we go. Right. Right, let's see if that hard work's paid off. Yeah, happy with that. It's the old one. Oh, I've been putting these off because they're a bit of a pain to sand. I'll be back in an hour. Three more to do, then we're done. These knobs, they're probably not original because that one's different than that one, but can you see there? It doesn't screw in all the way, so it just looks a bit odd, that. So that needs to really go in, but the wood is stopping that part. That part's not threaded, so it won't screw in. So I'm just going to sort that out now. Just sits flush with that. Just looks much better. I noticed one of these little drawers had quite a lot of dents in the front. Because these are solid wood, I could go at this with a bit of steam and a bit of moisture just to raise those dents up prior to sanding. So I'll give it a go with the iron and see how we get on. That's worked really well. There's still a little one there, but these have come right up. So just give it another go. Somebody's jumping around at the other side of the workshop with the cork, and I bet you can guess who it is. I don't know whether you can see that, but they've reduced significantly. In fact, they're almost flat. So I'm hoping once that's fully dry, a little light sand, and you won't even be able to see those. The inside dividers, the letter dividers, are in really good condition. So I was going to do like a redder stain inside as a contrast, and they've already got that. There's no point in stripping all this back. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. No damage on this. A couple little scratches here which I can touch up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a clean in some methylated spirit. I've just created myself a load more work. What I'd forgot was it's got a shellac finish on it, this, and I've used meths, or denatured alcohol, and that basically melts the shellac. Now it's not so much of a problem if you can do it and just sort of blend it in, but as you can see, that's not happened. So what I've done is I've cleaned all the finish off this one with more meths and a Scotch Brite pad just to get a nice even finish. So all that finish is off there now, but the stains remained. So what I'll do is I will have to do the same on all of this now. That wasn't the plan, but it's a lot easier than stripping it. So yeah, it's my own fault, but obviously I can't leave it like that, and I never would. So right, on to that. About 3/4 of an hour just to sort that out. So just need to put some finish on that now. It's a messy job, but worth it. A little bit dull and dingy, and I will polish them up and show you what they look like afterwards. There you go. That's really nice. Right, just a few more of them to go now. Doing the outside in walnut. As always, I'd like to say a huge thank you to every one of you that supports me. It really does mean a lot. This YouTube thing is a bit foreign to me at times, but hopefully you enjoy my content, you enjoy the work that I do, and you will continue to watch. For those that support me by using the Buy Me a Coffee link, the super thanks button on my Amazon wishlist, a massive thank you. And if you like these videos, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. And if you like more of this content, then please consider subscribing. I know this has been a really long video, and I appreciate it if you stick with it this long. And hopefully you'll appreciate the work that's gone into it. It was a lot more than I thought. And hopefully you will also love the end results. So thanks again. And as always, thanks for watching. This is the original beading on this drawer that I repaired using parts of the old beading, and this is the brand new beading. It's quite a bit different now. That's had all the same stain on it. I want to just blend it in a bit so when all the drawers sit together it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. There you go, let's get in there. Right, I'll just do that all the way around now, won't make you watch it. Right. I actually decided to do the whole thing in rosewood rather than just the back. It just looked better. Once I just tried it on an area and it just looked so much better, so I'm happy with that. Looks miles better, and once it's got a top coat on, it should look really nice. So I've got all my little spray station ready, because I'm going to give this a coat of acrylic lacquer. The other thing I need to do now, but I think she's already gone, is get rid of Daisy, because she's in the workshop somewhere, but I think she's disappeared. Yeah. I think she might be going to the toilet, so I won't film that for you. I'll just put Daisy inside, because obviously I don't do any spraying when she's in the workshop. The little insert drawers from the inside, one of them had really deep scratches on the base and I didn't like it. I tried to get them out, they wouldn't come out. They did look better than they did at the start, but what I did was I cut some small pieces of felt just to put in the bottom. Now I'm not going to stick these in, just in case the customer doesn't want them, she can take them out, but I just thought they looked better than the scratched up bottoms. So I'll leave them in, I won't stick them, and then the customer can do what she likes with them. We are finally at the end of the video now, and I know it's been a mammoth one for you, so thanks if you've lasted this long. I really do appreciate your time in watching these, and thanks as always for your support. I hope you enjoy the final results, and I will see you in the next one.